translates to "the bullshit stops." So I really like that name. It's a good one. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be getting right into this. Game number one was pretty darn exciting, Chengue. I think they just got a really good draft, to be honest. Pretty much all of their lanes won. They had a little bit of a rough time in their with their Juggernaut getting a little bit underfarmed early on, but for the most part, they dominated every other lane, and they had a Viper that just went absolutely insane. Got a couple really early kills, shut down the enemy Slark, and walked away from the lane with a 12-minute tower, mechanism, and half of his Ags. It was absolutely ridiculous how quick he was farming and how well he was doing, and from then on, it was just snowballing around the map, just shutting people down, and there's not much else to say. That game just got out of control really fast, and the advantage that they built was just too much for the PT to come back from when their cores started to find some of their items. So, they put up a good fight, but this will be it. So anyways, we're into game number 2. This is a 2-game series, so 1 point has already gone the way of the Chengue, and the second point we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Could end up being a 2-0 or a 1-1, but yeah, anyways, if you guys are curious about the UGC League or any of the happenings on over there, check out www.ugcleague.com, and we've got all the information that you could possibly need over there, so yeah, definitely check that out. And, I just want to make a call out to the internet, and how wonderful it is, and how many people it can connect. I've had a very multinational day today. I woke up to a tweet from somebody over in Russia sending me a website that he had been working on for a game called Dark Nexus Arena, which I helped promote at PAX East. And he had made a fan site for this for the game, which had a bunch of pictures of me and the rest of the team that was over at PAX. And he said, "Oh man, it was great meeting you guys, blah blah blah. We set up this fan site for the Russian community, all this stuff." And I was like, "Hey man, that's really cool." And so I had a talk with him, and then I get into a game casting later today with a team from Uruguay and a team from Peru. And all of these guys have been super nice. They've been, we were talking in the lobby earlier about, about how about what their countries are like. And Team Chengue was saying that they all live on the coast and they can see the ocean and stuff. And it's pretty crazy. I reach to all corners of the world, and the internet's fantastic, and Dota's fantastic. Brings people together. But anyways, let's talk about the draft a little bit. We got Axe, Troll, and Venge and Tidehunter all banned out here. The only one that's a little bit obscure is that Tidehunter not being taken out. But Sniper's still in the pool, and Juggernaut has been snatched up by the PT already. Witch Doctor being picked up by Team Chengue. They really like that Witch Doctor, and it was played to near perfection by Black Box last game. So really, really well played by them, and they're going to be doing great on that. For anyone in chat who hasn't seen this pop up on Twitter yet, check out Owie's Twitter. What's going on Owie's Twitter? I'm going to check this out. I love Owie, man. Owie's great. Love story featuring Owie in Universe? Oh, that's great, dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out after the game. That looks hilarious. Yeah, I love Owie, man. He's from Vancouver, so he and I have a little bit of from the same city, hometown pride. Happy to see him doing well, and he participated in a lot of the UBC tournaments. I was never around for any of them, but he was a big StarCraft guy, and so a lot of the people that I know also know Owie. So yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a real cool guy. I'm gonna have to check out that video. But anyways, back to the draft. I'm getting sidetracked quite a bit here, but the Venomancer getting picked up by Team Chengue here, and I do like the Veno Witch Doctor combination. That is a lot of damage in team fights that you got a split between magical and physical. It's really hard to negate, and you can really, really shut a team down with just those two supports damage. Like, the damage that they do is just insane. It's off the chains. But anyway, Shadow Fiend going to be the pickup for the PT here, and let's hope that they can put it to good use, because Witch Doctor and Venomancer are a good ganking combo that can really make use of their rotations around the map, and Shadow Fiend could end up being a very sour Sally if he gets jumped on really early on. But anyways, Sniper making it through this first phase yet again is going to be banned out here in the second phase, as is the Queen of Pain. Not wanting to have to... Actually, I'm kind of curious why Team Chengue banned the Queen of Pain. I kind of had it backwards in my head there, but I mean, the Shadow Fiend's already been shown for the PTs, so it's not like the Queen of Pain would have been put mid. And Queen of Pain would have been a good pickup for them to help shut down the Shadow Fiend. So I'm not sure what their train of thought was there, but who knows. Viper banned out by the PT as well. Not wanting to have to deal with that again. And Viper does fare pretty darn well against the Shadow Fiend. So I think that's a very justified ban there, as does the Sniper. So well done there. We'll see what Chengue decides to round out their lineup with. I'm very curious if this Venomancer is going to be a core or a support. I mean, like I said, he does so much damage that putting him in a core role is actually very valuable, because if he can get his levels up quickly, he can get off to a really, really ugly start and just make the whole game a mess for you. On top of that, I think I like comboing AA and Venomancer in games. Generally as a support duo is what I like to run it as, but if you can put the Veno on an offlane and then get the support AA as well, that stuff can get really ugly as well. Just the amount of magic damage between the two of them, and that tick damage is absolutely insane. You bring people down to... I can't remember the math on it, but the combination of the two spells being used in their full capacity is something ridiculous. It's like 4,000, 5,000 damage between those two abilities alone if they both hit. And, of course there's a stipulation of Venomancer's ulti not being lethal, but you kind of remove that restriction by allowing Shatter on the AA ultimate. So I really like that combo, but we probably won't see it this game. I think that Venomancer is probably going to be a support. Anyways, Brewmaster picked up by Team Chengue there, so not someone we've seen in the series yet. Of course, that's only been one game, but I think Brewmaster fares decently against Shadow Fiend. I mean, he does tend to eat a lot of raises in the early levels, but once you get to that point where Primal Split is a factor, Shadow Fiend can't do all that much against any of those pandas. They just kind of run amok, jump up on him, and slap him around a bit. So I think the Brewmaster pick is going to work out decently for Team Chengue, provided that the Brewmaster doesn't get dominated from level 1 to 5. Dazzle picked up here by the PT. They ran that last game, and it did fairly well for them. They ran the Dazzle Bristleback as their first two pickups, so they had a lot of minus armor and a lot of potential for big AoE damage, but not going to run that this game. Instead, they're comboing the Dazzle with the Shadow Fiend, which, again, is a lot of minus armor. I mean, you have the minus armor aura from the Shadow Fiend, and you have the Dazzle ultimate, which, of course, ticks down minus armor on the enemy team. So, makes everyone very, very squishy, and the Juggernaut and the Shadow Fiend are free to dish out as much physical damage as they want. And Ancient Apparition is going to come out, so I called it! I called it! Well, I called it, and then I uncalled it. I was like, Ancient Apparition's a great hero, but we probably won't see it this game. But no, this is really awesome. So this means that the Venomancer is going to be a core in some capacity. This will be either a mid or an offlane, and I think it's actually more likely to be mid, because I think the Veno stacks up a lot better against the Shadow Fiend than the Brewmaster does. And then we'll either see an offlane Brewmaster or a one-position Brew. Either one works and makes for a really good early brawling lineup. So I quite like seeing that, and like I said, the team fight damage from Team Chengue right now is going to be absolutely insane. It's crazy. And, like, okay, what is it? Actually, maybe Quantum, you can fill me in here. Maybe you've already filled me in. Alright, yeah. He's been feeding me stats, and I haven't been looking at my Steam chat because I'm really, really bad at doing that. But I keep turning off my chat notifications because they're really annoying when you're streaming and bleep, 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 stuff in the corner. But I keep forgetting to check manually. But anyways, yeah. Heads up, Veno in UGC League Season 3 has a pretty good 60-minute kill record made by Jokers of TD Essing. 27 kills on Veno, so that's absolutely insane. But yeah, I think Quantum, maybe you can crunch the numbers for me on that. What, like, at max capacity, Venomancer and Ancient Apparition, both with Aghanim Scepters, how much total damage do the two abilities do if they hit on a hero? I would love to know that number. But Rubik going to be picked up by the PT, and if that's put to good use, this could be really potent this game. Lots of great abilities to steal. You can get that Poison Nova off the Venomancer, you can get the Death Ward off the Witch Doctor, you can get the Primal Split off the Brewmaster, things like that. So Rubik could be in a very, very strong position, provided it is played well. And, yeah, no, just ults, just ultimates. The two abilities on their own. Of course, those will be amplified by other things like the Ice Vortex and whatnot, but I'd just like to know the damage on just the ultimates, because I recall it being absolutely insane, like more health than any hero in the game has.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, so the Brood Mother going to be banned out here by Team Chengue. They ran that last game and not wanted to have to deal with it this game, and I think that's totally justified. None of their heroes do very well with dealing with Spiderlings, and you know, there's quite a few heroes, and I mean, the PT is still missing an offlane, so good call there. I think that's a very justified ban. We'll see what they do go for. I think the PT needs a little bit more damage and a little bit more beef on the front lines. I'm not sure what, though. Axe would have been a good pick, but of course that was banned out in the first phase. Tidehunter as well, banned out in the first phase, would have been very good. Perhaps even like a Bristleback or a Centaur or something. But
10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Gotta look at my hero chart here. See what the possibilities are.
Dire team pick.
Actually, an Undying might work pretty well here. Steal up a lot of strength, try to hold out the fight. He'd be a good pipe carrier to try to negate some of the Veno AA damage. You know, owns Brewmaster if the Brewmaster wants to go one position, so that's a possibility. You could see that happen. Trying to think of who else. Timbersaw might be decent, but with all this ticking damage, I think Timbersaw might have a hard time running around in team fights and keeping himself alive.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some options, but Team Chengue, what are they going to run? Like I said, I think this is probably going to be a mid-Veno and perhaps a one-position Brewmaster, so they might be looking for an offlane themselves right now. And the Clockwork was banned out by the PT here, so I think they're thinking along the same lines that I am. But they could be in a good position to run a Batrider here. I think Batrider fares very well against the Juggernaut, fares very well against the Shadow Fiend, and you know, despite the Dazzle having the Shallow Grave, you can always deal with that. And they've got a lot of heroes that combo very well with that just single target lockdown. I mean, if you can get the Witch Doctor Death Ward bouncing on top of someone you've lassoed, if you get the you know, get the Venomous Gale after somebody's been lassoed, they can't really run away. You get the Cold Feet on top of it, holds them down. So I think that's a lot of I think that's very potent. Alright. Okay, so that's the number.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, so, according to my good friend Quantum, if all damage hits, both ultimates deal 2,732 damage before resistances. Level 16 AA ult has a 12% shatter threshold, so you would need more than 3,000 health to survive just those two ultimates together. And, of course, there's going to be a lot more damage going down on the field regardless, so that's, yeah. That's insane. But Nyx Assassin going to be picked up here by the PT. I'm curious as to how this will work, but I think it'll fare very well. Nyx does really well about, you know, with picking off heroes like that Venomancer, like picking off the AA, and this Drow Ranger as well, having been picked up by Team Chengue, is going to have a hard time with this Nyx Assassin. Nyx does really, really well against Drow. So I like that pick. We'll see how it fares as this game continues here. But anyways, let's introduce the teams once again. Over on Team Chengue here, we got the Ancient Apparition, going to be played by MMA. Over on that Drow Ranger, we got NCK, Nick, or Artes, or I don't know who. We got Black Box playing that Witch Doctor yet again. He played that last game to great effect. Ultra Numb going to be taking that Venomancer. Looks like he is taking it towards that mid lane. And in the off lane, we've got the Brewmaster. So Misconception taking the off lane Brew. Not going to be a one position like I expected. Up on the side of the PT, we've got Calamity going to be taking that Nyx Assassin over towards the top, or the top off lane. We've got Steve Vai, who played the Lycan last game in the one position, is going to be taking that Shadow Fiend towards mid this game. And we've got Ebola on the Rubik. And Comcerteza. I don't know words. Dazzle. That guy. Chuck, going to be playing on that Juggernaut. I like his name. A lot simpler, a lot easier. But, yeah, we're good to go. In the game, active and ready to roll. Looks like Team Chengue is going to get the top rune, and the PT going to be taking the bottom rune. So, even exchange here at level 1. Looks like the mid lane Venomancer is going to take the bounty for Team Chengue, though. And on the bottom, we've got Chuck going to be taking that bounty rune towards the safe lane. So, a little bit terms of differences here. The Venomancer is going to have a bit of an advantage on that mid lane. Of course, he'll hit the level 2 a lot quicker. And, yeah, I think I like this quite a bit. I think... Actually, I'm curious. I don't know if it works like this, but, wow, was an impressive 19-1 win-loss ratio with Venomancer in UGC, so I like that. That's Yeah, that's really strong. I love Venomancer, dude. He's a great hero. I love watching him be played. But I'm curious, when Drow activates her aura, does it apply to wards as well? To the Veno wards? I don't think it does, but seems like it might. It applies to Visage Birds, so not wards. Okay. I guess it's classified as a building, I guess? I don't know. Dota is a game of exceptions. Super weird. Anyways, down on the bottom lane. A little bit of action coming out here. Yeah, I guess we'll see later on. But either way, I mean, Veno himself with the Drow Aura is actually incredibly potent just because of the damage he gets from Poison Sting. And now we see those 2 points up in wards right now, so Veno should be able to start harassing with those. It allows him to survive just long enough that Steve Vai can't efficiently bring down those wards. And of course he can, but, you know, it's not overly efficient for him to do so when he could be getting last hits instead. But Shadow Fiend is leading the charge on last hits right now, sitting at 5-0, so doing fairly well for himself. He's not generally the hero that you see with the most last hits at this stage of the game. You know, usually gets held down quite a bit, and I'm curious about how the game would be playing out if Chengue rotated these lanes out a bit here. Perhaps if they put the Drow Ranger on the mid lane to just dominate the Shadow Fiend, because I think Drow beats Shadow Fiend in most scenarios. You know, I think if they put the Drow there, put the Veno on the off lane, and then let the Brewmaster farm up a quick blink in the safe lane, maybe they could get off to a really good early advantage. But the way they're laning this now has meant that there's a little bit of awkwardness when it comes to those lanes. But
Denied.
Either way, I think they'll be okay. Nothing blatantly wrong with what they're doing at this point. Alright, what do we got going on here? So, smoke gank up here by Black Box and MMA, moving in towards that mid lane, and they start off with the Cold Feet on that Ancient Apparition. They want to be able to hold down that Shadow Fiend. If they do get a good cask bounce off, that Cold Feet will proc and they can get that kill. So, I actually really like this ward as well. The really aggressive ward from Ultranum. I think we saw him do this last game, and just keep that ward up on the high ground so that he can harass out his enemy laner just to maximum capacity. And yeah, Ultranum going to go pick up that regen rune, and he'll make his way back in the lane. But Steve Vai is staying very far down on the lane. He's staying very close to this region and not moving too far up towards where he's susceptible to be ganked. And, you know, that's I think that's definitely the way to do it nowadays, because no one ganks from this direction. Like, no one. It just doesn't happen. And so, you know, staying, you know, to sit on this side of your lane is to be safe. And, you know, we see MMA and Black Box forced away from that. They waste a lot of time and don't manage to get anything of it. Oh, hey. I goofed. Overlays. There we go. Sorry, my friends. That was not supposed to be there. I fixed it. 4 minutes in the game. I'm really good. It's okay. Thankfully, the draft overlays the UGC provided me with are not so intrusive, and they look decent enough on top of the normal overlay. They look a little odd, but they're okay. So it's not like some of those big draft overlays with the boxes and stuff. Oh god, I have had a couple times where I've forgotten those draft overlays up, and it's like chat yells at me so hard it's not even funny. But no, we're good. Juggernaut sitting on phase boots already. That's those are fairly quick phases, which could equate to a kill down here on the bottom lane. Brewmaster's level 5, so if they can get a good telekinesis up on him, hold him down, and we might actually see that here. They TK him up, they pull him back, and are they no Blade Fury to come? What are you doing, Jug? What are you doing, buddy? That could have been fun. I think actually you only had level 1. 80 damage per tick, maybe. Either way, mid lane, 2 raises going out on Ultranum. Actually eats a lot of damage there, and if the third had hit, that probably would have been a kill. So Ultranum forced back a little bit, but he does have those level 3 wards up now, so they are really, really strong. And of course, Steve Vai, he has been doing a decent job of bringing them down anyways, but like I said, it's just a matter of efficiency. You spend more time right-clicking those wards, that's more time they click on you. Down at bottom lane, they do go for a dive on the Brewmaster. Playing that Submarine Dota, they pick him up, and there goes the spin. So they actually spin on it that time. They get the kill and bring him down before he hits the level 6, which is, of course, oh so valuable for that Brewmaster. So, well played there. Good kill, and the PT off to a good start. could this be their comeback? They had a pretty rough game one, and like I said, a lot of that I think came down to their choices in heroes for the laning phase, and they're doing all right now. They're doing a little bit better in terms of that department. So, anyways, Calamity finds himself caught out here. Cask is going to bounce around and catches him, so Cold Feet procs, but it's not going to hold him down for all that long, and he runs away with pretty healthy portion of health. And yeah, MMA and Black Box don't find that kill. And Nyx gets himself a bounty. Might have to take a trip back to base, though, as he's dropped pretty darn low. Alright, looking at last hits now, we got 36 up on this Shadow Fiend. He's doing really, really well in terms of his last hitting, and despite that Veno having that really aggressive ward and then the rotations up from top, Chengue just wasn't able to shut down the Shadow Fiend, and he is, you know, he's looking good, 41-11 at 6 minutes in, and he's going over to finish off this hard camp, which he stacked for himself. That is 3 stacks and a lot of gold in his pocket. He is off to a fantastic start. You could not ask for better as a Shadow Fiend right now. Alright.
Denied.
What was this? I'm confused. I'm trying to read chat. I should never read chat. Chat's a bad place. It's a bad place for dirty people. Anyways, bottom lane. Looks like they wanted to go on that Brewmaster. Threw out a little bit of harass, but not going to finish him off. Alright, rotation in towards the mid, maybe? MMA's coming around. I think he's just more looking to ward right now. I don't think there's too much he can offer this Venomancer in terms of being able to finish off that Shadow Fiend. And, well, we got the level 6, or the level 7 now up on the Venomancer, so he's got his ultimate, that Poison Nova. Could we see anything come out of that? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I lost my codecaster, man. I got no one to bounce anything off of. Calamity. He's looking for a Veno, but Veno snags a haste rune. I don't know if he's gonna be able to find this kill, but goes for it anyway. Shadow Fiend is there. I don't think he got the attack from the Vendetta though. He just went straight for the Impale, holds him down, and the raises weren't good enough. So Ultranum walks away with that haste rune. He's gonna be comfortable and happy there. Down at bottom lane, Brewmaster throws out his ultimate. He wants to go in on this. They're diving underneath the tower, but the ultimate gets finished off. And can he pursue further onto this? He's got enough mana for a clap and a couple attacks if he wants it, but oh, he's there. Catches a bullet, and with one crit, there we go, gets the kill. Actually, that wasn't a crit, that was a Chilling Touch proc, so the damage was there, the damage was guaranteed, but yeah, that Rubik hesitated a little bit, walked a little too far forward, and found himself in a good heap of trouble. But Calamity nearby, can he make anything of this? I mean, all he's got is the Earth Spike right now. The Impale or Earth Spike. I can never remember which is which. They drive me insane. But yeah, Impale. He's got the Impale, but that is it. Looks like he's trying to wait until he can regen that Vendetta. But yeah, if he does, nope, he's TPing back to top, so he's out of there. And Tri-Lane will remain bottom. 2 supports rotated down here to help out the Brewmaster. Just going to hold out this lane and do whatever they can. Venomancer now working towards that mechanism, very similar to how he did in the last game, but of course I think he was at this point 3 minutes earlier last game because he was absolutely just dominating the Slark he was up against, but you know, he's still on a fairly good pace right now, actually matching the Juggernaut in terms of last hits, and so he's about 350 gold off of getting his mechanism, and once he gets that Veno will become a much more potent team fighter, but Drow Ranger now 4 points up in that aura, giving her ranged heroes quite a bit of extra damage that Veno going to be very thankful for that, as he's sitting at just over 100 damage at this point in the game. Juggernaut going for a spin here. He's trying to do whatever damage he can, but Misconception's running a lot further forward. They get the slow up on Chuck, and they're going to hold him down with that beautiful cask, and it's going to hold both of them down. Can they find the Dazzle as well, chasing in? And oh my god, the damage was immense. That Dazzle went from half to nothing in just 2 auto attacks. And the Rubik's sitting nearby in the trees. There's not much he can do here. There's going to be some pressure on the tower. I don't know if they're going to get the tower outright, but they've definitely got the potential to move forward and do some damage. Mid lane, Veno's starting to stack up a lot of wards here. He's in a really comfortable position, just getting rid of this wave as it gets close to him. And the tower is going to take a spill pretty quickly here. Calamity's nearby. Can get that Vendetta strike off if he needs to, but there's no Impale to follow it up. And so Ultranum, actually, oh, he doesn't get the tower. It gets denied by the Shadow Fiend. So we'll play there by the Shadow Fiend to move up, get that good deny. And I mean, the double damage helped, but he still got it. He still timed it. And Misconception, a little far forward here. Might be in some trouble. He does get caught out by that poison there. And Calamity waits a little too long on his Vendetta, so doesn't get the strikeout. Tries to get the Spike Carapace, but it doesn't make a difference. And Shadow Fiend nearby almost gets the 2-raise combo to finish off that Brewmaster, but he does get the split off in time. They find the Witch Doctor anyways, but yeah, Brewmaster should be able to walk away from that, using that Vortex to good use, keeping the Juggernaut held in place, and he'll walk away with nary a sliver of health, but he's alright. That'll be a good escape for him, despite losing the Witch Doctor. Those raises were really, really good by the Shadow Fiend, too. He's placed those really, really well and caught the Witch Doctor, rather, as he was on his way out, so well done there. Mask of Madness now up on this Drow. She's had pretty much uncontested free farm up at the top lane. 12 minutes in, 71 CS, so she's missed a couple here and there, but for the most part, she's gotten almost every CS, and now sitting at a healthy Mask of Madness power treads at 12 minutes into this game. She's going to be doing a lot of damage once she starts moving into these fights. Mask of Madness up now on the Juggernaut as well. We'll see what he manages to do with this. We've got what looks to be an engagement brewing down here on the bottom lane. Brewmaster. He comes in, smacks Chuck on the back of the head, but he gets healed up pretty quickly by the Dazzle there, and it's unclear about which team wants to go in on this. They're both kind of moving forward and then backing away, and then moving forward and backing away. And yeah, it looks like both teams will disengage as Chengue's back up to their tower with that creep wave, and the PT runs over to the side shop, picks up some items, and then they back away there. Drow's still pressuring out the top lane. She realizes how many people are bottom, and so she's relatively safe up the top lane. Moves in there, chips out a little bit of damage on the tower. Just looks like an auto attack or two, and then does back away. But teleport here from the Shadow Fiend down towards bottom. Looks like these four want to cause some trouble, and they're looking for it. They got a 4-on-3 if they take this engagement now, but I think this Venom will be primed and ready to TP in at any point. He does have that mechanism ready to go. Can they find the engagement they want? Shadow Fiend Shadow Blades in. And he's going to channel off that Requiem right on top of Misconception. Is it going to be enough to bring him down before he gets... Oh, no, he doesn't even have the split. 15-second cooldown on that, and so he gets popped almost instantly. MMA pulled back there from the telekinesis, and one auto attack from Steve Vai will get that kill. Teleport in from Ultranum, but not going to be enough to save either of his teammates. And now there's 2 down on Team Chengue's, and perhaps a tower to follow. Doesn't look like they're going to pursue, but... I think they were definitely in position to if they wanted to. They had the Dazzle heals up. They had a creep wave coming in just a moment. And, of course, the Shadow Fiend to clear out the enemy creep wave. But they're going to take their 2 kills and just walk away from that. Continue farming up around the map. And, like I said, Shadow Fiend looking very, very strong right now. That full Shadow Blade finished up. And he's got that haste rune. And we do see Chengue's automatically adapting to that. They throw down their Sentry Ward. So they're going to be wary and careful of that Invis coming out again. So... taken care of by them. Meanwhile, though, this Drow, she's getting a dangerous amount of space right now, and despite that Shadow Fiend doing really well in collecting farm around the map, she's pretty much been guaranteed free farm up at the top lane, and she's been doing really well with it. Anyways, down at bottom, Rubik finds himself caught out and gets blocked off by that beautiful Plague Ward in the trees, and that will be the death of him. SF has only built Shadow build in 8 out of 147 6.83 pro games. It's the second most popular item in pub matches. Yeah, it's a very pubby item. I don't think... I think in organized matches, you see exactly what we saw happen here. You use it once, you get a good kill with it, and then the enemy team starts buying sentries, and you end up in a lot worse scenario. But Black Box gets popped between the Shadow Blade attack and a couple good raises. MMA now in a lot of trouble, trying to juke into the trees, but the Shadow Fiend finds himself a triple kill, and now going for more, looking for Misconception. He does have a split if he can, but he doesn't want to use it just to escape. He's got to be a little greedy with this. Will he get away with it? Oh, he goes for the split at the very last second, but... yeah, Steve Vai runs in, gets that very last auto attack, and that will be an ultra kill for him. 4 up, and the only person that doesn't fall is that Drow Ranger who's been farming away on the other side of the map this entire game. They're going to trade a tier 1. Well, they're going to get a tier 1 on the bottom. Will they be able to defend their tier 2 atop, though? This is dropped very low, and this Drow is, yeah, she's just going right back in. She recognizes that there's 4 committed to bottom, so pops off that Mask of Madness, going to clear out that creep wave, and then she'll move up and get rid of that tower as well. More attacks, there it goes. And so actually, relatively decent trade in terms of towers. Of course, those 4 kills are what swings the difference there, but I think Drow's happy with what she's getting right now, and she is, you know, she's actually starting to catch up to the Shadow Fiend on farm right now. Venom Wards do not get the Drow bonus. Alright. That has been confirmed. Yeah. Just figured it might have been one of those weird ones. Hey, Ice Blast catches out the Rubik. Gonna take him down a little bit, but that won't bring him to the threshold. It's close, but not quite. Yeah, it brings him about 40 health away from popping. So, not gonna be the case there. He's fine. Alrighty. 601 on the Shadow Fiend. He's doing really well and sitting on 3,300 gold. That is quite a hefty amount. He's, I mean, if he gets... He gets about 600 more. He's got, well, actually, not even 500 more. He gets a Black King Bar, and that could be very, very dangerous for Chengue right now. They need their magic damage. A lot of it coming out from that Veno and that AA, as we talked about in the draft. But, of course, there's a good chunk of physical damage coming out as well between the Drow and that Witch Doctor. So, good combination there. But anyways, Brewmaster pops off his ultimate down on the bottom lane as that Juggernaut goes in. And now the support's looking to be in trouble as that Vortex is holding off that Jug. But he goes back and actually brings Chuck back down. I'm not sure why he brought him down early, but he's going on the Dazzle. Can he find the kill? No, Dazzle goes for the heal and not the Shallow Grave. So Brewmaster finds that kill, and during all that time, it is time for the rotation. And there we go. Venomancer comes in, gets that big Poison Nova off, and they're looking for Chalk, holding him down. Death Ward going to go down for good measure, and they finish him off. 3 kills down, and now they want to find the Shadow Fiend. He walked into the range of the Sentry. Can they catch another? They silence him out, but they don't have any more detection. Actually, they do. Ancient Apparition has a Sentry Ward, but doesn't bother dropping it. And that might have been a kill, actually. If he dropped that Sentry Ward a little bit earlier, we got some Frost Arrows out. Could have held the Shadow Fiend down long enough to get the kill, but no bueno there. And Chengue's picked themselves up 3 return kills, so bringing the kill score relatively even at 8-7, 18 minutes into this game. Pressure coming out on bottom. No ultimates left, really, for Chengue. They've got the AA ultimate if they need it, and but that's about it. The Death Ward has been used, the Primal Split has been used, and the Poison Nova has been used as well. Shadow Fiend running right past the Sentry Ward, realizes that as the creeps turn around to attack him, and so he turns it right back around and just decides to farm up some creeps instead. Drow getting really close to matching him on the last hit. It's about 13 behind now, and with that double damage, you just go straight into the Roche Pit, and it just evaporates. This Roshan did not stand for long, and NCK Artes, he's gonna have a Sanjin Yasha, double damage, and that Aegis the Immortal at this 19-minute mark. He is absolutely huge right now, and this is gonna get really, really dangerous for the PT. Alright, let's take a peek over towards the items and see if we got anything interesting coming out here. We do have that full Black King Bar from Steve Vai, so we talked about that. He's got the Black King Bar and the Shadow Blades, so a lot of survivability on him and a lot of damage as well. The Nyx Assassin doesn't have much more than his Arcane Boots and his Urn of Shadows, but that is pretty much core for the Nyx Assassin. I mean, until you get a Blink, a Force Staff, other such things, he doesn't really need much else. The Juggernaut now working towards what I assume to be a Yasha, and will probably be hitting a quick Mantis style after getting that Mask of Madness Phase Boots. Over on Black Box, the beginnings of an Aghanim Scepter. We saw him do this last game, gets that Ultimate Orb really quickly on, and then we'll see him pick up the rest of those stat items as the game progresses. Urn of Shadows on the Ancient Apparition, not too big a deal there. Sanjin Yasha, we just talked about that on the Drow, and looks like she's going to head towards a BKB as well. She has an Ogre Club sitting in her inventory. Blink Dagger and the beginnings of a Vladimir's Offering on the Brewmaster, offering his team a little bit of a damage bonus. The lifesteal will only be for him, but that will give him a... that'll give everyone their 5% damage bonus, like I mentioned, so really good there. Mechanism, we pointed that out on the Venomancer early on, so he's got that and about 1,700 gold in his pocket, which will probably equate to a Blink Dagger down the line. Alright. Raze is clearing out this wave here. Shadow Fiend up on the mid lane. He is looking really, really scary right now. And every time Shadow Fiend takes a break to fight and Drow is farming, she sort of gets close to catching up on his last hits. And then the second the fight ends and Shadow Fiend goes back to farming, he just extends his lead once more. And that's kind of the nature of the hero. He just farms so fast and so well that unless you're on top of him killing him, he's just going to kind of run away with this game. And Artes, he's doing really good work. I mean, 000 has not been part of any real fight so far and still behind by about 20 last hits. And that really speaks volumes as to, you know, this kind of hero matchup and how Chengue hasn't really done what they need to in terms of taking care of the Shadow Fiend, but they might find it now as they're smoking through the jungle. Black Box going to lead the charge here, and he finds it out. Cask, oh no, not getting used as the telekinesis is good, and Steve Vai gets a great ultimate off on 4. He is doing work right now. Can he bring down Ultra Null? He's blocked in by the creeps. He can't get out of here. The Juggernaut goes for the Omni Slash, brings him down. Who was that died? I don't even know. Shadow Fiend, he's trying to run away from this, but the Shallow Grave holding him down. Finally going to fall. Brewmaster gets the kill. 635 gold going his way. Juggernaut in the meantime trying to bring down Ultra Null. Can he do it? No, he teleports out. He's going to be back in base and will be just fine. Chuck falling quickly from all that poison damage, and the kill is going to go to that Drow Ranger. Whoo-wee! Was that really just a 2-for-2 engagement? Wow, that felt like it was a lot more. Did we have buybacks or something? Must have had buybacks somewhere. Where's the fight recap? I didn't even get a fight recap. Come on, Dota! Ah. Anyways, Brewmaster really far forward here. Ice Blast might be off the mark. Oh, is it going to hit? No! Oh, it was so close. Brewmaster jumps in and absolutely obliterates the Dazzle as he finds himself too far forward and gets shut down. 3 heroes down on the side of the PT right now. And Chengue's... Oh, hey! Finally, we get a death recap. 3 heroes down on Chengue's, 3 heroes down on the PT. And about a 2k gold swing in the favor of Chengue's. Yeah. Looks like a fight favored them, and then they do get a tower off of it as well. But yeah, I think the big thing was the Shadow Fiend dying for the first time that game. His Black King Bar went out so early that it was easy for him to get brought down once that finished off, and the Brewmaster ultimate was up. So they get a really good kill here, and yeah, 3 lost on Dire, Radiant, and 2 on Dire, and the Aegis was claimed as well. Okay, so I think with that additional kill on the Dazzle. No, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the Aegis on the Drow, which is why I saw a death on the death recap. Okay, so 3 for 2 in the end, and Drow lives. Dazzle made 3. Yeah. And they spot out this Nyx Assassin heading into the jungle here, and so this Vano should be being more careful than he is. He's being greedy, farming up this camp. I don't know if he dies if the Nyx goes for this kill, though. Nyx does not have too many points up in the mana burn, so his burst damage is not incredible. And yeah, I don't think there's much this Nyx can do besides just scout. And looks like he's scared. He saw that blink and he's like, I need to get out. He blinks away and kind of lets the Venom know he's there, but he's safe nonetheless. Mid lane, looks like there's a bit of an exchange there. Silences thrown out for raises, but both teams walking away from that just fine. Paralyzing Cask stolen by Rubik. That's a big spell to steal, actually, as that works wonders in team fights and will do very well against that Chengue's lineup. Oh, man. There's nothing more frustrating than being a Brewmaster trying to split and getting bounced on by Casks like 3 times in a row. God, the number of times that happened to me is just... Ugh. Ugh. Makes me sick to my stomach to think about. 135 gold away from that Drow picking up the Black King Bar, and I think that's going to contribute to her fighting power quite a bit. You know, there's a lot of magic damage on that side of the field. That Shadow Fiend being the most of it, and of course that Nyx Assassin and the Rubik offering some as well. Alright, looks like they spotted the Nyx with this sentry again. They know where he is, and this is the good thing, but this Nyx has kind of ended up in a scenario where he's a little too far behind to be able to find these solo pickoffs. Generally in a scenario like this, as a Nyx, you'd see a Veno, you'd go, oh hey, free kill. You jump on him, you'd Vendetta Strike him, and you would kill him. But he just can't do that right now, and we see him blink away as he realizes he's running out of time on his... Oh man, there we go. They might turn this into a kill? No, they can't. But yeah, I mean, generally that would be an easy kill for Nyx, and it just hasn't happened to be the case because Nyx got held down really hard in lane, and, you know, despite not having died at all, he just didn't get a lot of experience, and he's only got that level 2 mana burn like we talked about, so his ability to actually, you know, do massive amounts of burst damage is pretty limited.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But Sanjayasha, Black King Bar, and the Mask of Madness up on this Drow Ranger. She's hitting like a truck, 300 damage when her range door is active, and then actually a little bit more than that when the Brewmaster offers that Vladimir's as well. So she is hitting hard. Down on bottom lane. Looks like they want to go on Chuck. They're jumping in on him. They're going to look for that clap, but he goes Magic of Need almost instantly and TP's out. Not going to be able to finish him off. He just spins, TP's out. And that is a lot of his time wasted, but he does avoid the death, so fair trade there, I guess. Blink Dagger now up on Rubik. This is actually going to be incredibly valuable for the PT side. I think there's so much stuff that just can catch this Rubik off guard. If he can remain in good positioning and then move in with the Blink Dagger when he needs to get those big steals, he'll be a lot better off. So, well done there. Helm of the Dominator and a Yasha now up on the Shadow Fiend. So, gearing in towards a Manta style and a Satanic. Going for a lot of that late game damage, those big hefty late game items. And he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. He's sitting at 209 last hits, and let's look at the net worth. Yeah, he's right up there as well. 13,800 net worth on him. And actually followed pretty shortly thereafter by the Drow Ranger. I think with the Roshan and the amount of towers that the Dire side has gotten, the Drow is holding up fairly well in terms of that net worth. Clap gets stop canceled there by the Brewmaster. Not going to be able to get that as he realizes the heroes are a little too far away from him. But with Juggernaut pushing top, looks like Chengue is a little confident about their ability to push forward. Maybe not. They get out. Trade it for a tier 1, and I think they're happy with that. The Brewmaster has a gem now, actually, so making sure that they can see that Nyx assassin. I think that was probably spotted out during the last fight, so Nyx is going to have to realize he's in a very compromising position here. Not going to be able to find as many... not going to be able to roam as freely as he was before. Top lane, yeah, Chuck, exact same thing as before, runs in, chips out the tower a little bit, and then just starts spinning and teleporting out, and he's good. After having forced those rotations up towards top, though, the PT is going to move in towards that Roche pit, but Roshan is not up, and there is a Venomancer ward there as well, and they telekinesis him, but I think they should have realized that the smoke didn't pop. That was an illusion, but yeah, they get a double damage, but no Roshan to speak of for another minute or so, so... unfortunate timing for them. If that Roche had spawned a little earlier, I think they would have been able to get that. A blast in there to check out the pit as well, but not going to happen. Or, well, nothing there for him to find. Venomancer now building towards an Aghanims of his own. He's got that point booster up and ready, and 1,000 gold in the bank, so only needs about 2,000 more before he can purchase up that Ags, get a lot of that teamfight damage, and, you know, do what he does best. Like I said, I mean, we were talking about the ideal scenario with Ags on both Viper and, on Venomancer and on the Ancient Apparition, and when they're both level 16 and have Aghanim Scepters, they do over 3k effective damage, which is just insane. It's incredible. Anyways, Chuck, going to be found out here in the jungle, and once again, he just spins and TPs, and Black Box actually pops off the Death Ward for that, but he is only level 9, that is only a level 1 Death Ward, so not doing enough damage to, well, even come close to bringing down that Jug, but fight looks like it's going to break out here in the river as Numb is held down. He pops off that mechanism, though, and holds him down, and, oh man, Rubik gets blown to pieces by that Drow Ranger, and blink out. If that ability did 10 points of damage, he wouldn't have been able to get out of there. But anyways, Chuck going full man mode. Omni Slashes into this fight. It's going to be a level 2 Omni Slash, so only 6 bounces, and he's now held in there. Gets Shallow Grave, but that is really, really premature, and he's still at over half of his health. Goes a Healing Ward up on the high ground, but this Venomancer blinks in, gets the Poison Nova off. That is 2 heroes, 3 heroes down now on the Radiant side. Shadow Fiend trying to fight up whatever he can. There's only the one Brewmaster illusion left, but it does get finished off. And now Steve Vai, what's he got in the bag? He's got nothing. He should have Shadow Bladed out. I don't even know if it would have mattered, though. I think there was detection nearby. No, actually, if he had just Shadow Bladed, he might have been able to get out of that. There was no detection, but either way, we had a full 5-man drop. Oh, no, actually, Rubik gets out. So 4-man drop, about a 1,700 gold exchange in the favor of Chengue, and they get Roshan on top of that as well. So now sitting at 10 to 15, they are in a commanding lead of this game. If we take a peek at the graphs, what was a kind of swinging game both ways has now jumped down to about 4,000, almost 5,000 net worth in their favor, and about 4,000 XP in their favor as well. So looking good for them. Can they grab the second game of this series and take it home? I think they can. They're looking dominant right now, and with that Aegis up on the Drow. A few good spells. Factoring Rubik's Null Field, the 2,734 damage and Venol's can deal is decreased to only 1,639. Damn! Yeah, very, very true. That Drow did 3-shot the Rubik at the beginning of that fight. Actually, that was why the fight recap didn't factor it in. That was a full 5-man wipe, but the Rubik just died so quickly and is so low level that he just respawned quick enough. But pressure in here on the tier 3. I don't know if this is going to continue. They're looking kind of hesitant about moving up here. The AA Blast going to go out, catches 1, hits 2, grazes over the Shadow Fiend and applies the debuff, though it doesn't get the burst at the end of it either. But yeah, they're just going to have the Drow siege this out from the bottom lane. She is in more than a good enough position to do so. She's got the Black King Bar and the Aegis if they initiate, but Misconception just going to go for it. He's got the Primal Split available, but they are crowd controlling him out pretty well, and is he going to fall? No, tries to get the split out, but he does take a fall before that happens. But meanwhile, Drow just doing absolutely immense damage. Black King Bar is up here, looking to try to finish off Chuck, but he does get that magic immunity out. And can they do it? They bring down the Dazzle, everybody really, really low, and with the Shadow Fiend falling, this Drow is going to find herself a couple more kills. And Venomancer actually was the one that got it all in the end. Drem of True Sight on the ground. Will anybody be able to grab that? Drow is the only person left remaining. Actually, oh, did she get the courier? Oh, no! She didn't see it. She didn't see it. She could have got the courier. Didn't get the courier. Anyways, Chuck trying to man up here, but the Aegis is used, and Drow is back up and ready to fight. She should either be able to get this tower or even the Juggernaut if he comes back. And looks like he wants to. He's nearby, but he really doesn't have the means to fight this Drow. And now with the Rubik and the Dazzle coming back up, oh, they could go on this here. Rubik blinks forward, holds him down, and actually steals the Gust to hold the Drow away. And she's turning around, trying to see if she can finish off that Rubik, but her aura is taken away as the Juggernaut is there. Can she turn it back around? No, she just walks away from that, using that Mask of Madness buff to run away, scurry off into the forest, and she should be fine. I don't think there's any way they can pursue this. And yeah, she gets out of that. And about 150 gold to go until she picks up that butterfly. So we might just see her finish up these Ancients and then go pick up that Eagle Song. Yeah, I think that's exactly what she'll do over here. Going to lifesteal up. And soon enough, we will have that pure evasion on the Drow Ranger. I think it's good that she's kept those components in her inventory as well. There's going to be no indication that that's going to come up. And so Juggernaut and Shadow Fiend going to be caught kind of with their pants down, unable to pick up that Monkey King Bar in a timely manner. That's kind of the problem with going for early items in that butterfly. It's one of those items that you want to purchase all at once you're really, really rich, because if you sit on an Eagle Song for too long, the enemy team goes, oh, she's going for a butterfly, we gotta deal with that, and they can start to purchase an MKB, and even if there's like a 2 or 3 minute overlap where you have evasion, you can still get shut down by it. But in this scenario, this is like straight up 5,000 to 6,000 gold that Shadow Fiend and Juggernaut have to farm up before they can do anything about that evasion. And so yeah, really good pickup there. Chengue, 14 to 19, sitting at the top of their game right now. They really want to crack this base, though. I mean, they did such a good job getting in close there, but that Drow just couldn't finish it with the respawns coming in, and that was it. So oh wow, yeah, that is a lot of armor. Drow sitting at 30 armor. Between all of the agility she has, and I mean that's something that people don't really consider with this hero. You think about her ultimate, it's bonus agility, and you go, oh, she's got lots of damage, but that's a lot of agility as well. I mean, what is that at max? 80 bonus agility, and I think it's 7 agility to an armor, so you're getting effectively 10 armor, or a 10 or a little bit more. I guess you're getting 11 armor out of her ultimate at its max range, or at its max level. So yeah, really, really potent there, but anyways, Nyx really far up here. Gets a stun out on the Venomancer, and they just want to go and fight this. Omni Slash goes out onto the Drow, but everybody groups up. Going to share the love on that ultimate. And Steve Vai, is he going to take a fall? No, that Shallow Grave so close to being dropped. And now, yeah, Juggernaut going to try to TP out, but that's not going to happen. Dazzle drops, or the Witch Doctor drops the Death Ward and gets the kill out there. 2 for 4 right now. Is there going to be any leftover Veno kills or anything? No, the poison hasn't been applied anywhere else. So 4 heroes down on the side of Chengue's in exchange for 2 on the PT. So, well fought there. The 2 cores did go down, so they don't really have any more pushing potential. Can't move up onto this tier 2. Can't make too much of it, but they did get a good kill regardless. If we look at the fight recap, that was about a 3k gold swing in their favor, and about 5k XP as well. So I think the PT is happy with what they got there. Radiant's Courier has been killed. Where did Radiant's Courier get killed? Was it? Where's my hotkey for it? Okay, it was over here. Did they just let their courier get killed by like a creep wave or something? Had a Ghost Scepter on it, and I guess it's just kind of sitting there. That was weird. Okay, cool. Whatever, dudes. And that gem is back over on the Dazzle, so they've done a little bit of dewarding with it, but I think it's probably wise to just go throw this in the base right now. They got two invisible heroes on their side. They've got the Nyx Assassin and, of course, the Shadow Fiend with that Shadow Blade, so I think keeping that gem would be unwise for fear of giving it back to the enemy team. These are a lot funnier when they're in a language I don't understand. Bom dia, senor. What is Bom dia? Is that... I don't know. It just makes me think of that Discovery Channel commercial, the boom dia da boom dia da boom dia, whatever. No pussy on the meatball. I like that. Oh man. Good day in Portuguese. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. I said good day, sir. Makes sense. All right, Smoke Gang here. They're gonna find a Rubik. Ebola gets popped. Ebola was eradicated. Thank God. Alright, well, with the Rubik down, they can look for some pressure down on bottom lane. They don't have an Aegis or anything supporting them, but they do have that Butterfly, like I said, which is going to make Drow a lot more potent in these fights. And with this tower being so low, I think they walk up, they just chip it out with 1 or 2 Drow auto attacks. And then it's just a slow siege onto the racks from there. Juggernaut on the other side of the map trying to farm up the enemy jungle right now. Just do whatever he can to find himself some gold. And he's going to have to make his way back for this fight. Poison Nova goes out, catches on 3. And Dazzle uses the Shallow Grave to hold out that Nyx Assassin, but the AA Blast, is it going to catch him? No, he's... Oh my god, just barely! Actually, I think that was the Brewmaster that finished him off there, but Shadow Fiend gets his ultimate off, but not before getting dropped by the Brewmaster once again. Juggernaut trying to do whatever work he can, but he's a little bit too late to this fight. And Brewmaster is going to get his ultimate off. Shallow Grave once again by this Dazzle. He's had really good Shallow Graves all this game, but it just hasn't mattered at all. And with this Witch Doctor channeling out the Death Ward, that is a full 5 kills, no buybacks available, and this could just be good game. We don't have anybody up on the Dire side for 40 seconds, and they're going to move up onto mid-racks, and they can easily get all 3 sets of racks, and maybe even the Ancient before anybody spawns. The amount of damage that is being put out by this Drow right now is absolutely bonkers. We got, yeah, well over 400 damage when she's in the range of that Vladzora, and the GG well played is going to be called. The PT will take a spill, and that is going to be 2 games going the way of Chengue's. So, exciting series there, and game 2 looking a little more even than game number 1, but in the end, that was, you know, Chengue still pull it out, and after what looked to be a shaky early game, their lane's kind of looking a little unhappy, a little bit uneven. They pull it back at some good team fights, and their synergy prevails overall. So, Team Chengue's get themselves a 2-0 victory here in the UGC League, and that'll be it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a pleasure bringing you this broadcast. I was joined today, of course, by Quantum_Stats. You can find him on Twitter, and he is part of the Standard Deviants stat group. You can check them out on Twitter as well. Bunch of awesome stat guys that jump in games and interact with me while I talk to myself for an hour. But yeah, of course, if you enjoyed my casting, please throw me a follow at Captain Canuck Dota on Twitter, and you can find me on Twitch and YouTube as well at the same handles. So, anyways, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you again next time. Check out UGCLeague.com for more information on the league and all the stuff we got going on here. Cheers, thank you, and have yourselves a great night.